Hello everybody. It's another beautiful day out here with Sable, and today I'm trying a little bit of a different tact with her. I have just hand walked her for about 15 minutes and not lunged a whole lot, just a few little walk circles without side reins in each direction. And yesterday she had displayed quite a bit of sort of nervous head movements, just similar to what you can see right now on the lunge line, and it didn't quite really go away until I went and started riding her, and suddenly there was no head shaking, no nervous flapping with her mouth and with her muzzle going on anymore. So today I wanted to see if I skip the lunging and just go into a little bit of a longer walk warm up under saddle, how that might sit with her, and a little bit of the flapping, as you could have just seen or might have just seen, is still there. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go walk her around. And you can see there is a fair share of tail swishing, and the flies are pretty bad right now. There's a little bit of that resistance, almost resistance. I can sense it underneath. I don't know if you can see it that well. But my goal right now is just I'm going to go and put myself onto our rectangle here, which I put up with these little mini cones for the time being around approximately a 20-meter circle. And I'm just going to go and say, hey, why don't we just go for a nice little walk here? It was even a beginning of a little bit more of responsiveness, just because I go and become a little bit what I call unpredictable with my legs. They're gentle left-right impulses and shoulder-to-shoulder sort of upper body movement that translates into my seat bones, massaging her back. And all I'm asking is a fairly regular, relaxed walk, without too many little hesitations, hopefully. And you can see that it comes and goes a little bit in spurts, right? So I'm going to just change directions here just to make it a little bit more sort of interesting going to the other side. And the flies are bad, you can see, and she has been brushed and fly sprayed and all these good things. But she's, I think, very sensitive underneath this sort of outwardly stoic behavior or sort of this temperament that she seems to show, that she's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to take it real easy, and if you push me, I'm going to push back. And so what I think underneath that is this is a highly sensitive horse that is, look at that, is so sensitive that she, the occasional little fly that she feels that she takes opposition to that. And so I think this is such good knowledge or such a good estimation, and I want to treat her in that way, that I suppose rather than saying, oh, this horse is not forward, I'm going to say this is a highly sensitive horse that just needs to be woken up again and needs to come out of her protective little armor. And she comes and goes, and you can see this. One good thing that I feel so far that is happening is that I haven't had to take her into a smaller circle like I do and like I have done in the beginning when she was stalling out on me, and I basically had to use the destabilization of her balance as a tool to keep her going and moving on the small circle, bending her around my inside leg and just even, really making her just go in tiny, tiny little circles for a moment, just so that one thing is clear. And the one thing that needs to be clear is that when I, as the hopefully trustworthy and friendly and peaceful leader, when I say we're moving, in whatever way that might be possible at the moment. But the complete standstill has to be, either it has to be something where it's really sort of warranted, where there's something really to look at, or something scared her, or some other things that might really make anybody want to stop and stare for a moment. That I cannot take away from her for sure, but I definitely want to make sure that she is, when we're just in regular, beautiful warm-up mode as we are right now, and this was her first snort. I don't know if you could see or hear that, but that's always one of those things that I wait for as we're going around in these sort of kind of random yet kind of still corners and straight lines kind of patterns here. I'm hoping for her to slowly but steadily, I'm just going to go on and off with my legs a little bit. Sometimes I take my legs on and off. Off altogether. And I want to, make this a little bit more of a normal thing where I don't have to be strategic about every single stride as I am right now. Right now it's a back and forth the whole time, right? I say, please go. She says yes. Maybe, but she hasn't said no yet. So that is always, positive. And I really sort of appreciate that there she's stretching forward, downward. I'm going to take her here on the longest rein into a bit of a smaller circle. Have her yield to my inside aids a little bit. Inside leg is a little vibrational. And then, she becomes a little bit imbalanced here, as you may be able to see. That's fine for now. We're in the process of, undoing blockades. Is kind of how I envision it. Blockades and, moments in her brain where she feels tense and she's anticipating something, and then blockades of tension in her body where, also these things are locked in. It's muscle memory, When you think about that, a horse that might have learned that, whenever there's a human coming and doing all these strange things, brushing and cleaning and then putting on tack and then sitting on me, and then usually it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. That's kind of the impression I get from what I can feel from Sable. And I would like to change that. I want it at least to be like, oh, it's still a little bit of work, but it's not fun, or it's not, at least it's not like unpleasant or really sort of stressful, right? And that is where these ongoing conversations, and I know this is a lot of walking and talking for anybody who's interested, this is though the process. The process is not one that is vastly spectacular. It's one that has many, many phases and steps like this, and anybody who really truthfully wants to know what it takes to rehab or do a riding reset with a horse like Sable, you if you don't have the patience really to watch this, it's probably not the right match for you to watch or to help or actually find your own way into retraining a horse of this magnitude, right? So no hard feelings, I'm just saying. So now I'm gonna go and see if we can get a few steps of sitting trot around the corner here. So, good girl. And that's all. And I could almost feel that she would have been willing to go more, but I only want the corner. And again, this has to do with basic agreements between the two of us, leadership, that, the leader who says, now we're moving, and now we're moving in this direction at this speed, and it's a nice, easy-going warm-up for both of our backs, both of our, mental systems here. Oh, good girl. So, and there's not enough trot steps for me to, look at that. And that's a really, really nice snort that I got from her. It's not enough trot steps for her to get kind of like into a bad mood or to anticipate that I'm going to come after her. It's just a friendly invitation to say, hello, hello, hello. How about this? Yes, yes. And there's, she goes back and forth with, am I going to do this or not, right? And now we're doing it and now we're not. Now we're walking and everything on a super long rein right now. Trot again, corner. I have to be pretty much very secure with my weight aids and my leg aids and make sure that I can sit this trot without too much problem, because it's not a nice, soft, buttery trot in a sense. It's a bit of a tense feeling that I have underneath, and that's fine because she's not completely going, she doesn't even have a chance to go, into a real working frame. And then we're going to go and take it into a little bit of posting trot here. So, good girl. So, and my goal is only to do maybe one round like this. So, reins are fairly, long. When she stops, I keep posting. So, and then we're going to go a little bit longer. So my goal again is 1 round of posting trot without any big or small interruptions. And I'm going to give that a little bit longer here. Sometimes, the goal is something that you can have, and then it's time to change the plan when it's not working out as you hoped or as I hoped. But this is actually not bad right now. This is starting to feel like, okay, we can do this a little bit longer, huh? Good girl, Sable. So, there you go. Very nice. So the corners, of course, she always has to navigate a little bit differently than the straight lines. I give her that. So, and then we're gonna walk. And that was a little bit of her idea, but it was also we were coinciding with both of our intentions. Maybe sometimes that translates in between two bodies like ours. But anyway, so that is one side. Now we're gonna take a little moment on the long rein and change directions. And we're going to the other side. And I can, even in the walk right now, feel comes and goes, comes and goes. Right now she's starting to relax a little bit more when we just came around the corner there. And right now it's pretty stagnant again. It's pretty slow. And her ears are back and forth on me. And we're like seeing how, I can see how she's thinking, I wonder what else is coming now. And all I'm going to say to her is the same thing. Come. The same thing in this direction. A couple of corners in the sitting trot. Yeah, there she's anticipating a little bit. Breathe out and walk. Yeah, good girl. So. And then a little bit of trot again. Breathe out and walk. So. And long rein. My reins are almost like sliding. I have them so that they can be kind of adjusted to whatever minimal rein contact I can have with her. I can always make my hands wider to shorten them. And then use my seat, my inside shoulder, my breath, and my leg pressure and lower leg impulses for the up and down transitions. And that is all part of this new alphabet that we're learning together. And I always talk about, learning the small ABCs and the big ABCs, and then the small words and then the big words. And we're still in the ABCs. We're not even really completely. Now I'm going to take her into a little bit of posting trot. We're not making words yet, but we're making lots of rows of A's and B's and C's. So, good girl. So. And all I want is a little bit of a regular posting trot here. All the way around. Light contact. Very easy going right now. Come. There's the stalling again. So I'm going to ride again. And I'm going to say, okay, so another attempt to get 1 round of posting trot without stalling. And as I said, we'll give it a good try. And then if it works, great. If not, if we need to work a little bit longer, that's fine too. But this is actually really nice. So, and then I'm going to say, okay, very nice of you. I like that, and that is kind of the beginning of her saying, oh, I can hear you. Even when I'm walking, you're still posting the trot. And it's almost like this magnetic energy that the rhythm maker or the metronome that the rider should be or become and can offer to the horse. I say to her, tick tock, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then she goes, oh, I think I'm going to walk for a moment. And I never stop with my tick tock, with my metronome rhythm on top of her. And I always say that horses are addicted to rhythm in order to feel good. Look, and that's even a little bit of an offering that she gave me. I didn't ask for that at all. But I like that she's asking as soon as I'm picking up the reins a little bit. And then I'm going to take that. And I'm going to take that into making perhaps a little small circle here in one of the corners of my square, right? I'm going to show her inside leg and inside rein. And we're going to keep going. So, and I can feel There's sort of this question and answer game going on the whole time. Do you want me to go straight, on a curve? Do you want me to go slow, walk, trot? All these different questions. And I'm saying 1, 2, tick tock, tick tock. You know, I'm going to do one more circle here. So, good girl. So, inside shoulder, inside leg. So, no big deal. So we could have been done here if this had been a fluid circle, but it wasn't. So we're going to do one more. Good girl. So I'm going to make the circle a little bit bigger. Good, good. So, good girl. So that's much nicer already. You know, and she works through it. And then we can walk. Good girl in long rein. So, very, very nice. So, you know, she gets a little break. And you can see how I never really stray from my messaging. You know, it's always when you do well, then we have to do less repetitions. We always want to ideally end on something that's at least close to the goal that we set out to accomplish with each segment. And if not, we'll take a break. If it had been, a complete failure or disaster or whatever, which is, what I always talk about, we need to encounter and not be afraid of the mistakes and the imperfections. When we embrace these and say, it's okay if you walk for a moment. We'll just try it again. There's no harsh consequence. There's no, smacking or clicking or using spurs or whips or anything. This is just a very fair question. And we're still at the very beginning of our journey together. This is all, like I said, it's like learning a different language sometimes when you have a horse start out with a new methodology and a new rider, right? So we're going to go and see how we feel to this side with all of that. Good girl. So, first we're going to go straight here for a moment. And then we're going to go, again, inside shoulder goes back on my end. So, it's good. So, smallish circle, so that she has to think about where her feet are. And ideally, I'm thinking, 2 or 3 of these little circles would be great. Good girl. So, a little snort is always wonderful. I praise her with my voice, let her know that, we're on the right track here. Very nice. So, good girl. So, and then we'll see if we can get one more. And I feel like there's a lot more sort of relaxation going through her body right now. It's a much nicer, more different feeling than when we started out. Yeah, come. So it's good. So, and that's actually so lovely. Right now that I'm going to stop, sit the trot and breathe out at long rein, and let her just for a moment walk. And then I'm going to turn into the inside here of our square, just to give her a moment to breathe out and stop. I breathe out and stop, and she can reflect on what we just did. Oh, that was so nice. That was a different feeling altogether today. Thank you so much, Sable. Thank you guys for watching and for witnessing, this part of our journey. It's really such a privilege to work with a horse like Sable and to be able to share this all with you. So thanks again and have a lovely day. Thank you, Sable.